Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk, Season 4, Episode 24. Coming up today, the Tigers scorched the Brewers in Game 1, but can't find any answers in Game 2. We preview the Pistons and Knicks' first-round slate as Game 1 is set for Saturday. It is WrestleMania week, and that means it's time to talk wrestling. The NBA playoffs start Sunday as the best time in basketball starts. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me as always is my man, Ryan Donnelly.
Hope your Wednesday is going well. For those who do celebrate, happy Easter and happy Holy Week. We have a great show for you guys. It's WrestleMania. It's my favorite week of the year. I hope you guys enjoy our wrestling talk.
Right next to me, Mr. Michael Rosenkranz.
We haven't talked wrestling in quite a bit, so this is going to be exciting to talk about wrestling this week. But we got a good mix in there. Baseball, basketball, playoff hoops, and then we got wrestling. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it with our 3 stars. Ryan, go right ahead.
Okay. So my third star, I'm going with Cole Anthony, a guy who is not liked by us because he took out Jaden Ivey's fibia. I still don't like you for that. But yesterday against the Atlanta Trash Cans, he put up some productive numbers. 26 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists on 58% field goal shooting and 44% three-point shooting, all in 20 minutes. So some great stuff there from Cole Anthony. My second star, I'm going with the Brewers' defense. Now, you're probably thinking, Ryan, what? Why the Brewers' defense? Well, I'll tell you why. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, but the Brewers on Monday looked horrible. They had 2 errors, but it didn't look like they had 2 errors. We'll go into it later on as we go, but yeah, their defense did not look good, which helped the Tigers get, I think, with their bloopers, they had 5 runs. Not 5 total runs, but with the bloopers, they had 5 runs. So good stuff from the Brewers defense, letting us basically win the game. And my first star, I'm going with Terry Skubal. We'll go on as we go on with our Tiger segment in the show. But taking a look at his statistics in 7 innings on Monday, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, clean stuff from Skubal. He got out of a couple jams. He looked fantastic on Monday against the Brewers, and those are my 3 stars.
Michael.
All right, my third star, I'm going to go with Desmond Bain from the Memphis Grizzlies, even though they lost to the Warriors last night, 121-116. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He certainly did his part in trying to keep the Grizzlies in it. They ultimately fell just short. My second star is going to be Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. 37 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. 37 points for the 37-year-old this season in his, I think, 16th year in the NBA, which we're doing quick mental math in the morning.
Either 6, I think maybe 17.
Right around there.
Yeah, 16 or 17.
Right around there, but another great performance from Steph Curry. Warriors clinch a spot in the playoffs as the 7th seed. My first star is going to go to Dylan Strome of the Washington Capitals. He had a hat trick in the Capitals' win, 3-1 against the New York Islanders. Capitals rounding out their remainder of the regular season games. The NHL is rounding out its regular season games. Stanley Cup playoffs begin this weekend, starting on Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun, too, watching Stanley Cup playoff, because, I mean, playoff atmospheres, even in hockey, too, are just electric. Mm-hmm. Those are my 3 stars.
All right, I'll hit my 3 stars real quick. My third star, we're going to go with Kerry Carpenter. Hit for the sole reason of hitting a very pretty home run in that 9-1 victory on Monday for the Tigers. Carpenter gets my 3rd star. My 2nd star, we're going to go with Anthony Black here. Oh, my goodness. I clicked the wrong game. Anthony Black yesterday in 28 minutes, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 for 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3. True shooting percentage of 101.5.
Wow.
So really, really, really good minutes from Anthony Black there. He made a very, very noticeable impact. He had a very noticeable impact on the win for the Magic. I don't know. Did you guys hear? I don't know if you guys were watching last night, but whenever Paolo went to go shoot free throws, some Hawks fan was making caw noises.
I'm trying to remember what quarter it was
in the
but
first.
I thought I
never
heard
watched.
something like that.
It
Yeah,
was the
watched
most
that game.
annoying thing ever. Every single time he'd shoot free throws. Every single time.
It
was very
reminds me
annoying.
of that one single Western fan who came here one year during the toilet paper toss game and was trying to distract CMU's player from shooting free throws, and the entirety of McGurk Arena was just like, just stop already.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, and I'll imagine listening to that on the
gosh.
broadcast for the entire game. Yep.
That
Exactly
is
like that.
crazy.
Put it in the comments below. What's your favorite bird?
Favorite bird?
Your favorite bird?
I don't even know what my favorite bird would be. Anyways, my first star. We're going to go with Jimmy Butler III.
Oh my.
Play in
Death,
Jimmy.
taxes, and playoff Jimmy.
Yeah, play in Jimmy.
Or play whatever.
The DeMar DeRozan Invitational. It should be the Jimmy Butler Invitational because this guy actually performs. 38 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. How about 12 for 20 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. Couldn't really get it done from the free throw line. 12 for 18. But a solid overall game. Well, solid, a very good overall game for Jimmy Butler. Really had control in that game for the most part. The Warriors did let the Grizzlies kind of come back on a very, very lengthy run for for Memphis, to put Memphis back in the game. But Golden State ends up holding on off the backs of Steph Curry with his 37 and Jimmy Butler with his 38. Jimmy Butler gets my first star, and those are 3 stars. Let's hit the Tigers real quick first.
Let's do it.
Tigers 9-1, as we mentioned. They win 9-1 on Monday. Tarek Skubal has an incredible start. First couple starts a little shaky. I don't think anybody in the Michigan within Michigan was really worried about Tarek Skubal. After that's those first couple starts, and his last 2 starts have been nothing but elite. Great stuff from him on the mound. And then yesterday happened. Flaherty looked a little off, maybe you could say. He didn't really look like he had much control over his stuff at times, and gave up. How many runs did he give up? 3 or 4?
3 or 4 around
It was right around there
Yeah, I think
in
he gave
his
up
final
3.
line. Yes, three earned runs.
Yeah, so he gave up 3 earned runs. They had to pull him. He got to, I think, almost 100, not even before the end of the 5th. I think it was the 4th inning. Yeah. Got to 100 pitches. Very lengthy, some lengthy innings there. Rhys Hoskins had his way with them yesterday. And the offense just couldn't really get it done. Offense scores 9 runs one game, and then the next game they score 0. We've really seen a lot of consistency from the Tigers this season when it comes to the offensive side of the diamond, but the last 2 games, not really. No cause for concern, I don't think, though. I think the Tigers have a good chance today. Take the series. It's a 3-game series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So 3-game series. They play tonight against the Brewers, but I just wish the offense would have showed up just a little bit yesterday, at least.
Yeah. Obviously, the good and the bad. The good, Tarek Skubal, he looked great on Monday, as I mentioned in Stars. Lots of times where he had bases loaded, and then he just got out of the jam. So, I was never worried about Skubal. I mean, his first 2 starts were against 2 of the best teams in baseball, and it was his first 2 starts of the season, so What do you expect? If he was warmed up, maybe that performance was inexcusable against LA, but I digress. But, yeah, last night almost got no hit. Thank you, Gleyber Torres, for getting that stand-up double. Yeah, the no-namer, that Presley guy, he pitched a gem yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
A
Yeah,
shutout.
he did.
Great
Very well.
stuff from the Presley. I don't even know who he is, but he no-hit us until Gleyber Torres basically said, we ain't getting a no-hitter, baby. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough one today. Crider Montero makes his debut today on the mound.
Oh, Cater Montero's back. That's right.
We're playing 23 games, 23 out of 24 straight games. They're moving the rotation back a day, so they put in Montero, and then they're gonna resume the rotation of, Olsen, Joe Mize to school, whatever. So Montero makes his season debut today. I don't know how he did in Toledo.
He won Pitcher of the Week, I'm pretty sure, in the minors the past week, and he had a pretty decent spring. So he looks to be much improved from last season, at least from what we can see in the minor leagues and spring training, although sometimes, as we all know, a lot of that stuff doesn't really translate to when you get to the big leagues. So,
especially if your name is Crider Montero. Anyways, yeah, it's going to be a tough test today against the Brewers. I have no idea who they have on the mound.
Rosenkranz.
Oh,
great.
Boy. I'm going to chalk up a loss in this one today. But, yeah, yesterday was the first time this season where it didn't really feel that competitive.
Is it the first time we haven't scored a run?
That's the first time we got shut out
yes.
this season.
Yeah.
But every game, it feels like we've put up some fight. This game, we haven't. Which, I mean, it's not really a fluke in the system.
In 162 games, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen. But, I mean, I'm not worried. I shouldn't be worried. This is game This was game 17 of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But you should not be worried at all. It's a one-game thing. This happens with good teams. The best teams in baseball have really bad days, and I wouldn't be worried, especially off of last night's performance where it wasn't that great. We only got one hit and a shutout by the Brewers. It happens to the best teams. I think the Dodgers a couple of years ago got no hit. But, yeah, you got to take the series against the Brewers today. 1 o'clock start, and then you got Kansas City this weekend, Holy Weekend, WrestleMania weekend, Pistons playoff weekend. In the way back, we have the Tigers playing the Kansas City Royals.
What a busy weekend.
What a busy weekend. Yeah, first 4-game series of the season. I mean, luckily we're back home. We have a nice little homestand, almost a 2-week homestand.
Mm-hmm.
But the Royals, taking a look at them in the standings, the Royals, yeah, they're going to be a tough one. They're third in the division, sitting at 8-10. They have some great pieces. Vinny Pasquantino, Anthony Santander's on the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Witt,
Vinny Pasquantino, Jonathan India. They got old ass Salvador Perez. Mm-hmm. So they have some good pieces. They have a decent pitching staff. Like, their bullpen's okay. Their starting rotations, fine. Like, they have oh gosh, who's the guy? I'm blanking on his name. Don't tell me. Not Chris Bubek. I hate him. Yeah. Vinny Pasquantino's another guy that they have that's pretty good. Oh gosh, what is his name? I am blanking on his name. Seth Lugo.
Yeah, there
Seth
it is.
Lugo,
Seth Lugo.
a top 3 pitcher. Guys, I know ball. It's just really early in the morning and my brain's not turned on, and I'm burnt out. But
amen to that.
yeah, it's 3 more weeks. 5 more shows. We have Seth Lugo. They have a top 3 pitcher in this division. I don't know when he last played. We might have to play him in this 4-game series. It's a high chance that we will, unless he plays today. But yeah, it's going to be a tough stout with the Brewers today, and then the Royals. They got some good pieces. They had a decent start. I mean, 8-10 is still a good record in a weak AL division. So if I had to predict what's going on in this series against Kansas City, I say either we split or we win 3 out of 4. Michael?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to think here. Hang in there, baby.
Hang in there, baby.
Yeah, you have to power through this one today. But no, I mean, I think you make some great points, Ryan. I mean, getting shut out and only producing 1 hit is not ideal for the Tigers. It's early in the season. You have plenty of time to correct your little things. And just for some information on Crider Montero, his last outing in Toledo was 6 days ago against Iowa, and he pitched 5 2/3 innings. He did not give up a hit, did not walk anybody, and he struck out 6. So he had a decent outing against Iowa, and 5 2/3 and 6 innings, kind of that middle ground, I'd say, for the Tigers right now. And you need somebody who can sort of find that middle ground. You know, if you can't go as deep as 7 or 8 innings, at least you have somebody there for a middle ground. And I think that's what this team needs in that 6-man rotation going forward, because with performances from Jack Flaherty like yesterday, and your starter has to be pulled, and you have to rely on your bullpen, you have to be ready for anything. And Cater Montero, I think, will be a good piece. We just hope it translates to the show again once he gets the call up, or he has already gotten the call up, once he takes the mound today. Jose Quintana is going to be tough. He's 1-0 with a 0 ERA, but he's only striking out 2 in his one start. So he's not giving up a lot of strikeouts. So the Tigers' approach today, yes, you do want to be aggressive against Quintana and just try and avoid the strikeouts, because once he gets into a rhythm, it's going to be tough.
Put the ball on the bat.
Exactly.
Put the bat on the ball.
Put the bat on the ball.
There's been some noticeable performance from Cater Montero, too. Like earlier in his rookie campaign, well, technically, I don't even know. He had a shutout earlier last year, so I think if I had to give a grade to Cater Montero, he's just a C. He's a C pitcher.
So he's just about average.
He's an average pitcher, so I think we can take average. I don't think we can take like a Matt Manning anymore with this staff. I think Cater Montero fits into this staff pretty well, especially because we're playing so many games in a row. That I feel like having the help, especially having a decent farm system when it comes to pitching, I think Cater Montero is going to help out a lot. But hopefully he can perform really well today. Hopefully he can take care of business. Jose Quintana, like you mentioned, is a very good pitcher. He's around the Casey Mize level, where I feel like he'll start really well, and then his ERA is going to skyrocket. So hopefully we can do better today. I hope we don't get one hit or shut out.
Yeah,
but 1:00.
This is gonna be a tough stretch for the Tigers, because you have the Brewers today, Royals starting tomorrow, and you don't have an off day till next Thursday.
Oh, jeez.
So you are playing a huge stretch of baseball against playoff teams.
And the Padres,
Royals,
can't forget them.
Padres, who are outstanding so far this season. Orioles, who are a really good team, because the AL East is always competitive. So you're going to have your fair share of really, really, really difficult teams. So already, this is early in the season, but this is going to be an important stretch of baseball for the Tigers going forward.
Yeah, we kind of saw that going into the season, too. Let's just hope Riley Green can start getting it going here coming up, because, still struggling the last couple games. At least he made contact yesterday. He made contact with the ball yesterday. That's all we can ask for right now. A player can't just get out of a slump like that. They got to work through it. Riley's working through it right now. I could trust him to get out of it pretty soon. And if we want any chance of being competitive consistently throughout this next stretch of games, we need to be able to depend on Riley's bat.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully Riley can get it done. But Tigers and Brewers, they're playing today at 1:10 on FanDuel Sports. The sweet pipes of Jason Benetti.
And the sweet pipes of taking yourself out to your TV on FanDuel Sports Network. Yeah.
Buy me some dingers and some RBIs.
I just hope they have my local team live. For its root for the Tigers
on FanDuel Sports Network.
Tigers games,
announcers, and more
Tigers games. And did I mention that they had the Tigers? We have to hear that.
Stream live.
Stream now.
Oh,
I have to hear that commercial 2,160 more times, people.
That goes from the punchable kid in the Pistons commercial to that.
I miss the best way to wear your Tigers cap.
Best way to wear your
Tigers cap. I miss that guy.
Cap.
I'd rather have that than that stupid song.
I miss that guy too. Anyways, all right. Tigers, Brewers, 1:10. Benetti and Dirks, the dynamic duo. It'll be fun. All right. The Detroit Pistons. They're preparing for a playoff series right now. It it feels surreal.
That sentence came out of your mouth.
Yeah, it feels surreal when you see all these other teams having their postseason interviews, and they're cleaning out their lockers, and they have their end of season interviews. And the Pistons do not have that content right now. They're preparing for a playoff series, which is kind of surreal when you think about it. But the Pistons and the Knicks, we promised a more in-depth series preview. Well, we have a little bit of a schedule that has been announced. So the Pistons, they play Saturday at 6, and then ever so inconveniently, they play Monday at 7:30, right before the Raw after Mania, which just makes that a late night for yours truly. So 7:30 on Monday, and then we have a couple days off, and we don't play, of course, until Thursday, time TBD, and then we play Sunday at 1. So still there is a window of opportunity for me to be able to go to a game. It's still unlikely, but there is a window of opportunity to go to a game, hopefully. But the first game will be on ESPN. The second and third game will be on TNT, and the fourth game will be on ABC.
What about the third game?
Well, I said second and third game will be on TNT.
I did not hear you say the third.
Yeah,
My
second and
apologies, folks.
So second and third game will be on TNT, and the last game, like I said, will be on ABC. So no NBA TV. We have avoided the NBA TV curse. Straight national TV. I'll clap with you. So straight national
the Pistons
TV.
won again somewhere.
Isn't George Blaha, though, and Kelser calling the game somewhere?
Yeah, it will also be on FanDuel Sports as well.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Because I read somewhere, like, they were still going to call the game, but I was just like, isn't it on national networks?
Yeah, it's on national networks and also local networks as well.
Perfect.
So, some people, they might be just paying for the FanDuel Sports and not cable, so all they have is the streaming stuff, so they can't watch national TV games. So
I am only permitted to watch national TV
of
because of said blackout
are.
rules, unfortunately, with FanDuel. But bottom line is, I will be glued to this series.
Yeah, it will be a fun series. So Pistons come in as the 6th seed. The New York Knickerbockers will be at the 3 seed. The Pistons won the series 3-1. Over the course of the year, that one loss being that first loss, the blowout loss at the start of the season. The Pistons then went on to defeat them 3 straight times. To say they took that loss personally would be an understatement. Cade Cunningham against New York this season, averaging 31 points a game, along with 8 assists a game. Cade performs when it comes to the Knicks, especially at MSG. We've got national TV, Madison Square Garden, Saturday night hoops, prime time, Cade Cunningham. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun series. What I'm looking for this series is Jalen Brunson. If you guys saw in the fourth quarter of that game against the Pistons, he kind of re-injured himself, had to go to the locker room. Will he be 100%? And if he's not 100%, how are the Knicks? I don't think the Knicks survive the series if Jalen Brunson isn't playing at 100%. Can't trust on Cat. Cat is not a number one scoring option on a playoff team. You have OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, but they're more of like your 3-and-D, I'll go get you 17 or 18 points, but you can't depend on me for much more. I mean, maybe Mikal Bridges. And then Josh Hart's not a scorer. You need Jalen Brunson in this series if you're New York. And if they don't have Jalen Brunson, or Jalen Brunson's not 100%, then obviously that's a window of opportunity for the Pistons.
I don't think he's 100%, but I would leave no doubt he's probably going to play again.
He's going to play. It's just whether or not he's going to be at full strength and full ability.
I don't think he's going to be at full strength, but he is a vital piece to this Knicks roster. And Anthony, I mean, you mentioned it. If the Knicks can't rely on their other pieces, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, you already said it, he's not a scorer. The Knicks are not looking good, and this is a series that the Pistons have utterly dominated, and this is a series that Cade Cunningham for the Pistons has utterly dominated against with those kind of numbers. He needs to keep those numbers up and keep them going against the Knicks in the playoffs. This is a prime opportunity for him. Cade Cunningham has tasted the All-Star game. He's never tasted a playoff series.
Right.
This team has never tasted a playoff series.
I think that's huge because yeah, we might not win much this year, but getting the playoff experience is going to do so much for this team going forward that even if we lose the series, we could take away positive, be like, hey, we got to the playoffs, Cade's played in the playoffs, we've been to the playoffs, we know how that's like, we know how to get there, we know what a series is like now, so that we can really focus on winning and possibly contending in the future seasons.
I agree, and it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy. These playoff teams have a wealth of experience, and they're gonna be ready to go against you. It's a different environment in playoff games. Now, I saw this not too long ago. The Pistons are limiting their tickets to just mainly people in the Michigan area, and part of the reason why I'm refraining from comments on social media, I love it
I
how
do
the
too.
box score watchers are saying, "Oh, this is such a weak move. This is such a weak move on the Pistons' part."
Great move.
Would I just want to send a message to those people? When your team makes the NBA playoffs, wouldn't you think you wanted to do the same for your team?
You just want your fans there.
You just want your fans there. Don't call other teams weak when they do it against your teams.
New York is close enough to Detroit where people could make, especially where, it's a Saturday, it's a weekend game. People might make the trip out to Detroit. It's only what is it, like a
9-hour drive.
9-hour
from New
drive.
York
Just
City,
about a
from
9-hour
Manhattan
drive,
to
yeah.
Detroit, it's about a 9-hour
9-hour drive?
Go
It's
through the border maybe if you want
maybe
to
a
cut
2-hour
across
flight.
through Canada.
Cut through
Oh
Niagara.
yeah, the flight from Detroit to New York is very, very short.
Hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe?
Yeah, I would say not even. I would not even think that. Look at us checking flight times early in the morning. Hour
hour
45.
45.
So
People-
very quick.
People will take the hour 45 flight to go watch. I mean, we're playing a Saturday, Monday, take the day off of work Monday, Tuesday, and go to the game, especially because tickets are so much cheaper at LCA than New York, and New York fans like to travel too.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes sense from the Pistons. You want your fans to be there. Sure, there's probably going to be Knicks fans there still.
Oh, there
that
will
live
be.
in Michigan or that live somewhere else. That's understandable. But you don't want like what's his face? Why can't I know
Spike Lee?
Spike Lee.
Spike
yes.
Lee, there you go.
You don't want Spike Lee sitting courtside.
No.
You don't want the upper echelon Knicks fans sitting courtside. You don't want them having that TV time. You don't want the fans. You want your own fans to be there.
They have Spike Lee. We have Jalen Rose.
Yes, we do.
Who I've met
Yep.
before.
Really?
I've met Jalen Rose. I was working, and he came up to me and my supervisor. Shout out Robert. Nope, sorry, that's not Robert. Tyler. Shout out Tyler. Good guy. He goes to Michigan. Go Blue. But he came up to us and goes, "Where's the queue line?" And I was like, "Oh, it's out there." And he goes, "Okay." And then I go up to him and I'm like, "Is that Jalen Rose?" My supervisor. And I go, "Is that Jalen Rose?" He goes, "That might be." And then he came up to me the next day and goes, "Yeah, it was Jalen Rose." I was like, "Oh, why didn't I say something?" But anyways, this is gonna be a tough series. I think the Knicks have way more experience than we do.
Oh yeah. Easily.
However,
Easily.
the one thing that we do have that kind of is helping us win a couple games, I feel like, is our veteran leadership. Tobias Harris, he's played in playoff series before. He made the Eastern Conference semis about 5 years ago. Tim Hardaway Jr., he was in the finals last year with the Mavericks. Malik Beasley, he was in the playoffs last year with the Bucks. So
Tobias was in the playoffs last year.
yeah, Tobias was in the playoffs last year, but he sucked. But
He was still there.
Yeah, he was still there. But yeah, we have veterans. Like we know, and JB Bickerstaff, obviously, he made the semis last year as a coach of the Cavs. So we have veteran leadership that could take us pretty deep. I feel like, obviously,
Schroeder too.
Yeah.
Schroeder didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but Schroeder's been
Schroeder's
to
been to the playoffs
many times.
Yeah.
But having this veteran leadership is going to help a lot, especially if you took away those 4 or 5 guys plus JB Bickerstaff, this team would probably get swept by the Knicks. So having these
This
guys,
team wouldn't be in the playoffs.
yeah,
Probably not.
but if they didn't have them and they did make the playoffs and they had to play the Knicks, they'd probably get swept by the Knicks. But having these guys who's played in the playoffs before, maybe one of these guys has played at MSG before, it's a tough environment. I think when it comes to playoff atmospheres in the NBA, I think MSG is the toughest.
Oh, can't forget B-Ball Paul too.
Oh, yeah.
He also has
B-Ball.
experience.
Yeah, forgot about it's almost 8 in the morning.
Basketball Paul.
Basketball
ball.
ball. But yeah, we have veteran leadership that could take us to immeasurable heights in this playoff series. If I had to predict what's going on in this playoff series, I think Detroit could definitely steal a couple games from this Knicks team. However, Cat made the Western Conference Finals last year. Brunson have made the semis last year. Most of these guys have been together. They've added some bits and pieces there. Cat, Miles Bridges, not
McCall.
Miles Bridges.
McCall.
Mikal Bridges, thank you. I'm tired, guys. I'm going to say Knicks in 6. I think that's a safe bet. I think they have more experience, plus they know how to play in the playoffs at MSG at home. Well, the last time we made the playoffs at Little Caesars Arena, this team was completely different. So they probably don't know how they'll have their home court on their back. But for now, I'm going to say Knicks in 6. I think the Knicks are a way more experienced team. Mm-hmm. I think the Pistons can 100% steal a game or two from the Knicks, especially if Brunson isn't playing 100%. I think Brunson, the less than 100%, is better than no Brunson at all for this Knicks team. So I'm going to say Knicks in 6.
I'm going to say Knicks in 6 as well. Quick little nugget on Jalen Brunson before we go to break. Against Detroit, he averages 28, 8, and 42% from 3 and 51% from the field. So
he excels.
He's shooting 50, 40, 28 points a game. He knows how to play against Detroit, just like Cade knows how to play against New York.
However, Cade Cunningham is the best player on the court at all times. Better than Brunson, better than Cat, better than his own team. I think when it comes to the best player on the court for that series, it's Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham is also 7th in scoring this season in the entire National Basketball Association. Jalen Brunson, he's 8th.
Yes.
So, all right. Coming up after this break, we are going to talk WrestleMania. We're going to talk NBA playoffs. It's going to be a very busy weekend in the world of sports. We're here to cover it all. You're watching Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. We'll be back right after this.
Sports cards, signed jerseys, signed helmets, and more. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things the hobby. Make sure to check them out down Mission Street in Mount Pleasant, right past Meyer. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Join Michael Rosenkranz,
Sports take precedence over academics.
I agree, but
Ryan Donnelly,
Corbin Burns, who is their big-ticket J13 item. Scooble is with us. Scooble's our big-ticket
Did
J1.
you just call Tarek Scooble James?
and Anthony Schulte.
I have an issue.
You have.
There is no break. It's a constant grind. It's an unbreakable cycle.
Yeah, it's...
As they navigate through the Detroit sports landscape. Live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 a.m. on 101.1 The Beat in Mount Pleasant and at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk.
Welcome back, Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk. Ryan Donnelly, Michael Rosenkranz, and Anthony Schulte here with you on this Wednesday, a Wednesday before, as we mentioned, a very busy weekend in the world of sports and sports entertainment.
And life.
And life. We're going to start with the NBA playoffs, shall we? NBA playoffs are starting on Saturday, and it's going to be an exciting bracket. We already have the 7 seeds filled out. That's the Warriors, and that's the Magic. They're going to be the 7 seeds taking on the Rockets and Celtics, respectively. The rest of the bracket goes as follows. We have an 8 seed to determine here in the next couple days in the play-in tournament. We already covered the play-in tournament. If you haven't already, go watch our last video to look at our play-in tournament discussion. But the 2-1 seeds, Thunder and Cavaliers. You got the 4 versus 5s, Nuggets, Clippers, Pacers, Bucks. We've got the 3 versus 6s, Lakers, Timber, Puppies, Knicks, Pistons. And then you have the 2 versus 7s, Rockets, Warriors, Celtics, Magic. So a lot of fun series. The 1 seeds are going to advance. I think we can all agree.
Yep.
The 1 seeds are going to wipe the floor with whatever the heck's going to come out to the 8 seed.
Oh, yeah.
So the 1 seeds shall win. The 2 seeds, I think the most interesting one is Rockets Warriors. I think the Celtics are going to take
Warriors.
care of
I'm going to say Warriors are going to win that series.
Really? The Rockets don't have much experience, kind of that experience thing we were talking about.
They have
earlier in the
no
broadcast.
experience, I don't think, outside of, Fred VanVleet?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. They have nothing. The Warriors have 10-plus years of, at least I can count, 12 years of playoff experience.
Yeah.
So, Steph Curry's won 4 rings. Draymond Green's won 4 rings. Jimmy Butler, he's clutch in the playoffs. I think the Warriors can definitely win that playoff series. I believe that, and I could book it.
That's a great upset pick. I might have to go with you with the Warriors there. The Warriors have experience. The Curry, Butler, Draymond, they've been there. They've done that. That's the thing about the Warriors is they can make a run from anywhere in the playoffs because they have that experience, and Steph Curry still has that talent.
And that's the the motivation and leadership. That's a tongue twister.
That's a new word. That's the Card Guy's word of the day.
Motorship. Very nice.
I
The
hope that doesn't mean
motivation
anything
and leadership of Steve Kerr.
MOTORSHIP.
Congratulations.
Now I need to actually look.
I really hope that doesn't mean anything bad.
I hope that does not mean anything bad.
It's a company. We're good. It's a ship driven by a diesel or other international
we're good.
combustion engine.
It's just literally a motor ship.
It's
It's
motor.
literally a motor ship. Okay, we're chilling.
It's a boat. Comment down below. What's your favorite boat?
We have boats and birds down there.
Yes.
Boats and birds. What a time to be alive.
So we all have. Do you have the Warriors or
Warriors?
we all have the Warriors.
Definitely.
That's surprising me. Again, the Warriors only 4 games behind the Rockets for that 2 seed. So 2 versus 7, it's really even.
The Warriors just need to tank. I want them to tank so bad.
If they're going to keep winning, I don't see why they would tank.
Right.
I want them to stop winning, but if they're going to keep winning, there's no
Them to
point in
stop.
tanking.
It's annoying. My dad keeps talking about the Warriors. He watches every Warriors game like you watch every Pistons game. It's frustrating.
But all right, let's move on to the next series of note. This might be the most interesting series in all of the first round. Lakers Timberwolves.
Oh,
These two teams are separated by 1 game. As a 3 versus 6, and that's what makes the Western Conference so interesting, because 1 game is in between these two teams. When it's Pistons and Knicks over on the other side, 3 versus 6, it's 7 games. So the West, there's a lot of good teams in the West, and the Timberwolves and Lakers are very even. The one thing with the Lakers, for me at least, they don't have size.
yeah.
Can the Timberwolves utilize Rudy Gobert to the best of his ability to take advantage and steal this series away from the Lakers?
And I think so. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to win. I think this, out of all the playoff series, maybe outside of Pacers versus Bucks, I think this series goes to 7 games.
I think so, too.
I mean, you can't count out the GOAT, LeBron.
I mean, LeBron and Luka on one team, that might win you the series alone.
Yeah, but then again, you have no big men. You have Alex Len. That's your own, and
Jackson Hayes.
and Jackson Hayes and Maxi Kleber. That's the only big men you have. So Rudy Gobert has looked like a top 15 center in this league.
Especially as of late.
Especially as of late, where he put up a 30 bomb about a week ago. A week ago.
All right.
Sorry. Good song. However, LeBron, 20-plus years of playoff experience. Luka just made the finals last year. I'm going based off experience, folks. But I'm going to say Lakers in 7 because you can't count out LeBron, the GOAT, my Pookie, my Schnookums, my GOAT, my king, my favorite principal from my promise school, just a kid from Akron. So LeBron is going to carry the Lakers to the promised land.
I think it will go 7 games. I'm going to take the Lakers, too, just because you can't count out LeBron and Luka. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Timberwolves take the series. I want it to be close. I really don't want it to be – I only want it to go to 7 games.
I also hate Dante DiVincenzo, and I hope he wins nothing in this league.
I think the only way the Lakers would lose is if they let Dante DiVincenzo get hot and if they can't contain Rudy Gobert. Especially if they can't contain Rudy Gobert because they have nobody in the middle.
No.
If they can't contain him, it's going to be rough for the Lakers. This probably will go to 7 games because you're going to be riding on LeBron, Luka, maybe even Rui Hachimura if he's playing, and
he is.
Just all those other guys like that.
I think for the Timberwolves, the most underrated guy here is Julius Randle.
True.
I don't think anybody's going to talk about Julius Randle. But, all right, Lakers. I have Lakers in 7. The Lakers, I hope they win because LeBron. The next series I want to talk about.
Sorry.
Okay. The next series I want to talk about is Nuggets and Clippers.
Okay.
Because that's a game that's a series where there is no game separating them. They're both 50 and 32. The Clippers got real hot at the end of the season. Knocked off the Warriors to send them back to the 7th seed, and they took over the 5th seed to go up against Denver. Denver just fired their coach, just fired their GM. They have Nikola Jokic, they have Jamal Murray. Michael Porter Jr. has been a little off this year. They have Aaron Gordon, they have Christian Brown. They have a lot of good players on that team. Clippers also have a lot of good players. Kawhi, he's been playing pretty decent since he's come back. James Harden's been an all-star this season. Ivica Zubac averaged 17 and 12 this season. A solid center right there in Ivica Zubac, probably a top 15 center in the league. This series is going to be interesting. I think this is another series that could go 7 games. I'm going to take the Nuggets just because of Nikola Jokic, and I think Nikola Jokic is the deciding factor and the needle mover in the series. But I would not be surprised if the Clippers take it because the Nuggets, interim head coach, a lot of uncertainty in Denver when it comes to that. Maybe that'll play a factor, but I'm going to take the Nuggets in this one.
The craziest thing is I still find it so crazy that the Nuggets decided to fire Mike Malone and their GM, I'm trying to think of his name. It's like Calvin Booth or something.
Yeah, Boone or Booth.
Calvin something.
I think it's Calvin Booth. That would be so funny if it's Calvin Custon. Shout out
Shout
Calvin.
out Calvin. Your songs on Instagram have been great.
Anthony, I think you literally said it best. If you can't contain Nikola Jokic, who's averaging a triple-double, I don't know what to say. That's good. That's good. Yes, it is good, Nikola Jokic, and we all know that you want to go home, but you got a playoff series that you gotta, help your team win. Nuggets in 6.
Ryan, real quick before we move on to WrestleMania.
See, this is tough because the Nuggets obviously don't have Mike Malone. This Clippers team is somewhat new with each other. James Harden came early last season to LA. I don't know. This is a tough one to call. Both are 50 and 32. Both have similar teams. I'm gonna say Nuggets in 6. Basic for the fact of Nikola Jokic and I want to see the chemistry between Murray and Jokic. See how they play against this Clippers team. It's not going to be an easy series for both teams, but first playoff series at the Intuit Dome. That environment already is crazy, but the Nuggets have recently won a finals, so I'm going to take the Nuggets in 6.
All right, so those are our NBA playoff little matchup previews.
And quickly in the East, I'm going to say Pacers in 5, Knicks in 6, and Celtics in 5.
Yeah, we talked about the series that matter and that are going to be good. I think Bucks Pacers might be good, but for time constraint purposes, I focused on the Western Conference.
Fair enough.
But that's the NBA playoffs. They start on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday will be game 1 of each series.
Can't wait.
And it's going to be a lot of fun to follow that. Also, quick note, the Stanley Cup playoffs are also starting on Sunday. We might cover them on Monday, depending on what happens over the weekend. All right. It's time for WrestleMania. WrestleMania weekend is here. It's fast approaching. The stage gets announced tomorrow. We've got the kickoff show and SmackDown in the Hall of Fame at 1 a.m. on Friday. And then Saturday is the big day. Big day 1, and then Sunday, big day 2, and then the Raw after Mania. Of course, it's a fun weekend for wrestling fans. It's my first full WrestleMania weekend.
This is my 12th WrestleMania in full.
Yeah.
Wow. I started WrestleMania 29. I want to say it was the main event this was my first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 29. The match that kind of got me hooked into WrestleMania was CM Punk versus The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite, and this will never be topped unless he does this on Saturday, my favorite WrestleMania entrance ever because it expels aura. Living Colour came out to perform Cult of Personality for CM Punk. Paul Heyman was his manager at the time. He held the urn, and oh gosh, if you please watch it, I get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it because of the aura, just the straight aura of CM Punk and the live music. I love live music too. Of Living Colour, it's great.
All right, so night 1 is going to be capped off by CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. As we saw on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins kind of going back to authority Seth Rollins a little bit. He did kind of wear like the Shield kind of clothing, not necessarily the full Shield clothing, but it looked similar. And then hit Roman Reigns in the back with a chair after Roman Reigns turns on Paul Heyman. And I like the angle they've used with Paul Heyman in this, getting Paul Heyman involved in this and really building this up as a main event match. I think the build for this match specifically has been great, and I think Seth Rollins is going to win. And he also said a little line, it's best for business.
That's a common heel.
Or he could be joining John Cena and The Rock.
And Travis Scott.
And Travis Scott. In an Authority Part 2 kind of type of thing. And then maybe he comes out on night 2 and screws over Cody Rhodes. Maybe. Best for business, right?
Hope not.
Best for business.
So that could happen. I have Seth Rollins winning this one. I want Roman to win, but Seth Rollins will probably win.
I want Punk to win so bad. I'm going to say, geez, this is tough. This kind of proves Paul Heyman's loyalty to either Punk or Roman, which kind of makes me steer away from the fact that that Rollins is going to win. I don't want to see him turn heel.
Maybe he could steal Paul Heyman from both of them.
Maybe. That'd be crazy if Paul Heyman joins Seth Rollins, and if he does eventually join The Rock and Travis Scott and John Cena and the Authority, what's best for business. But yeah, I want to see Punk win personally because he's the guy that I grew up watching and he's my favorite wrestler of all time. But I'm going to go Seth Rollins winning this one.
This is a match, this triple threat match I could really see it going anyway because you have such high caliber wrestlers. I think Roman's going to win it.
Oh, really? You're going to pick Roman?
I think Roman's going to win it.
Wow, so we all have somebody different. That's going to be interesting to see.
It's going to be interesting.
So when we come back to look at this again on Monday, all of us pick someone different. So someone here is going to be a winner. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to quickly go through these, just pick a winner. So WWE Women's Championship, it's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton defending against Charlotte Flair. And Death Taxes and Charlotte Flair winning championships. I think Charlotte Flair is going to win. I think that's the safe pick.
I will be very upset if Charlotte wins. Therefore, I'm going to have Tiffany win.
Tiffany could definitely win. I can't pick against Charlotte Flair.
That's true because Charlotte Flair is a champion
Has
machine.
Kaiser been in your DMs?
Charlotte Flair. Woo!
That was a good woo.
Has Kaiser been in your DMs lately?
Yes, Kaiser has.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
United States Championship. L.A. Knight. Yeah. Against Jacob Fatu. Yada to mean.
Yada to mean. I think Yada to mean will Yada to win.
I think Fatu is winning this. They're putting gold on Jacob Fatu.
Expect a lot of title changes this weekend. There's one Death Taxes and Triple H loving to change titles on either SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
Yep.
This is true. And you know what? I'm all for it. Give me Fatu.
And then Jade Cargill versus Naomi and just a blood match, basically. A match filled with hatred, and the only thing on the line is bragging rights.
This match could get ugly.
I think Jade Cargill's going to win. Naomi can afford a loss. She's been great in her new character, her new heel character. I think Naomi can afford a loss, and it kind of puts a full circle for Jade Cargill to finally get her vengeance. Not Vengeance Day, but her vengeance against Naomi for that attack.
Well, see, I think the fact that Naomi can afford a loss, maybe that has like an interesting twist behind that. Like, you never know. I
It's
can afford a
WrestleMania.
loss, but I want to prove myself. I'm going to go Naomi.
You're going to go with Naomi.
I'm also going to go with Naomi.
Really?
I want to see her heel theme. I think she'll get a new theme.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love this new Proceed with
We're
Caution.
not going to be feeling the glow anymore.
No, unfortunately not. We're going to be proceeding with caution from now on.
Yeah.
Until I want to see Naomi win, and I kind of want to see them feud, and then that'll lead into probably what we're going to be talking about next, the women's title. The other women's title. The women's heavyweight title, or whatever it's called.
Nope.
No.
The next match is one of the worst builds in WrestleMania history. I don't even want to call it a build because there hasn't been a build. There's been a match. The World Tag Team Championships between the War Raiders, formerly known as the Viking Raiders, and the New Day. This match is not interesting. There's been no build. There's no interest. The only thing I can see happening, Santi Zap had this idea that Big E will return.
I think that's the only reason
And
why they had them on the card.
And I think they're going to be going for the War Raiders next again, and then Big E will come out, save the day. Big E's back. He gets a little physical. But I have the War Raiders. I don't want to see them retain, but if Big E is coming back, I don't see New Day winning. Because maybe Big E comes back and helps his old brothers and tries to make amends. I want New Day to win, but I think the War Raiders, if Big E comes back, are going to win.
I think if Big E comes back and fuels a New Day comeback and resurgence, that would be crazy. I'm going to go New Day.
Okay.
This is what you're going to see during the War Raiders versus the New Day match if you're watching with me.
Yeah. I hope this match happens while the Pistons are on. The Pistons start at 6, WrestleMania's at 7, so about 3 matches will be
I'll be playing Angry Birds during that match, but anyways.
3 matches will be taken up by Pistons as well. So hopefully that just gets out of the way.
I want to see the New Day win, but I think the War Raiders are going to win.
All right, and then real quickly, El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio.
Gracias!
It's not Chad Gable.
It's Chad Gable.
No, it's not. I have Rey Mysterio winning and ripping off the mask of El Grande Americano to really prove that it's not Chad Gable. It is the highly respected and touted El Grande Americano.
Go ahead, Michael.
No, I'll make this quick, Ryan. I'm going to go Rey Mysterio. He's been in the game a long time. He's a great luchador, and I think he's going to get it done.
I think we'll get some interference from American Made and LWO during this match at some point. I'm going to say Rey Mysterio is going to win and rip the mask off of Chad Gable's face.
Right,
it's going to be Chad Gable.
It's not going to be
Gracias.
Chad Gable. Thank you! All right. The final match will be the World Heavyweight Championship between Gunther, the champion, and Uso! Oh, Jey Uso. Yeet, yeet, yeet.
He better win.
Throwback.
Jey Uso will win.
Throwback to our Royal Rumble recap
Yes.
episode where we did the cold open.
Yes, that was fun.
And little kids disliked because John Cena didn't win.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly
Very
what
funny
happened.
stuff.
But Jey Uso, I think Jey Uso is going to win. I think it's obvious that he's going to win. I think it's the most easy prediction to make of the
Jey
entire.
has
Yeah,
Jey has to win.
Jey has to win. He's had such a storyline.
He's
being
lost
built
3
around
straight
him.
championship matches, and he is going to lose. There's no way he wins the Royal Rumble, and he has all this build around him for the 3rd time for a championship match, and he loses. There's no way. I think he's going to win.
His brother gets straight up killed live on air. Jay gets killed live on air every week. He has to win.
He has to win.
Jay is furious. Gunther is furious. This has been I'm going to say it. This has been the best build of WrestleMania.
I don't.
It's them or Punk, Roman, and Rollins.
I think Punk, Roman, and Rollins has been the best build.
I think the best build so far has been Uso and Gunther because Gunther involved his Jay's family.
I think that saved the build.
That saved the build for sure, and I think it's been such a fun build.
It has.
So I'm going to say Jay's going to win.
All right, so night 2 of WrestleMania. WrestleMania night
yes.
2. The Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes will defend against John Cena. I got John Cena in this one. Not much to talk about. We've already talked about this match a little bit in the past. I think John Cena defeats Cody Rhodes.
I think this is going to be John Cena. He's going to break the all-time record for WWE championships. This would be number 17 if he wins it, and he would break the tie with the great Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Guess who's going to be in attendance for WrestleMania?
Ric Flair?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
That being said, John Cena's going to win.
Yes, John Cena's going to win.
And Cody's going to get his get backs at some point in the rest of the year.
Yep.
He'll get his title back.
All right, Women's World Championship. Io Sky is going to defend in a triple threat against Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. I think it's between Bianca and Rhea, and I'm going to go with Bianca.
See, I got clowned on Twitter because I said Bianca is going to win, and I still hold true to that. I think Bianca's going to win, and that's going to bring some tension with Jade and Naomi. That's why I said earlier in the show that I want to see Jade and Naomi feud once again after WrestleMania, so that way they have a triple threat either at Backlash or whatever's going to happen. So I want to see... I really, really want to see Bianca win, so they have a triple threat at some point in the year for that title.
Michael, real quick.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley.
All right. Rhea, I think she has also very high chance to
It's
win as well.
between either Bianca or Rhea.
Yeah. All right, Intercontinental Championship, Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker defends against Penta. Zero! Miedo! Finn Balor, and Dominic Dirty Dom Mysterio, Dino Nuggy Mysterio. I think it's either going to be Penta or Braun or Dom. I mean, I can't really. Not going to be Finn. It's not going to be Finn Balor.
I wouldn't think.
I'm going to go Penta. They're going to put gold on Penta.
Nope, I don't think so.
You don't think they're going to put gold on Penta?
I don't. If that happens, I'm going to be so mad because.
Why?
Because it's your biggest it's the big free agent that comes in. Let's put gold on him already.
That's a good point.
I don't want that to happen. That ruins the integrity of WWE.
You know what? I'm changing.
I'm going to Dominic Mysterio.
Dirty Dom.
Dirty Dom. Dom's going to win or Braun's going to retain.
Dom's going to win, and he's going to screw over Finn Balor, and then he's going to bring gold. Everybody in the Judgment Day is going to have gold except for Finn Balor. And it's going to draw a divide, and Finn Balor's going to leave.
Think about it. If Ray wins, too, I mean, that's just going to motivate Dom even more. So it's I'm going Dom.
Dominic Mysterio.
The entire Mysterio family's going to win.
And we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. I have Drew McIntyre winning, even though I want Damian to win.
Drew Pinentire. I'm going to go with Damian Priest winning.
All right.
All rise for the Outlaw.
Drew McIntyre.
All right. And then we have one of the most randomly put together matches just for the sake of getting Liv Morgan on the card. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending against Bayley, Role Model, and Lyra Valkyria. Liv and Raquel are going to retain.
See, I'm upset that Liv Morgan got put in the tag division because she's had the best year one of the best years for women's wrestling. I mean, there's Mariah May and Toni Storm. Timeless Toni Storm. Timeless Toni Storm. My favorite women's wrestler on the planet. I'm upset that Liv had to be put in the tag division for WrestleMania, but I'm going to say that they're going to be retain.
All right. And then we have...
This is Liv Morgan and Raquel.
Yep. And then we have AJ Styles and Logan Paul. I really don't know who can win this. I think AJ Styles will win just because he's come back. He's kind of had a weird year when it comes to his injury, and he had a good feud with Cody Rhodes, but I think it's time for AJ Styles to get a win under his belt. I think AJ Styles defeats Logan Paul because Logan Paul is I think one of the only people in WWE that can always afford a loss.
This is what you're going to hear during this match.
No, this is going to be a good match. It'll be a good match.
It
So who do
should
you guys
be a
have?
good one. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, Ryan?
AJ Styles.
And then Randy Orton also is going to have a match either against Solo Sikoa
I won.
maybe even SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. But who knows? That'll happen on Friday Night SmackDown. There's even a chance that the SmackDown title or the SmackDown Tag Team Champions will be
I don't
on the
think
card
this
too.
card is fully made
It's
yet.
not.
Randy
Definitely not.
Orton needs a spot on WrestleMania, and more importantly, the SmackDown Tag Team titles need to have a spot on WrestleMania, especially because they just signed the Motor City Machine Guns, who's been the best indie tag team in wrestling for years and years, and you don't put them on the WrestleMania card is ridiculous. They need to put those two. They need to put the SmackDown titles, and they need to put Randy Orton on the card, or else I will not watch. Just kidding, I'll still watch.
Agreed. All right, well, that is all we have for today's show. Thank you for tuning in to Card Guys, Season 4, Episode 24, on 101.1 The Beat and YouTube. Tune in Monday as we talk Tigers, checking on the Pistons, maybe a little Stanley Cup, and we see how did WrestleMania go and how did our predictions play out. For my good buddies, Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. I will see you on Saturday morning. And for those who celebrate again, have a happy and restful Easter and Good Friday, everybody.
If you smell